I know, I've been in your shoes. It's not easy. But there are 3 things today that I want to share with you that I feel are the most important things you can do. Because again, I've been here, I've been there, I've been where you are. And starting out gluten-free is so tricky. But before we dive in, I just want to say I am so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that I'm here. Welcome to the Gluten-Free You and Me podcast, and now also YouTube, where we learn to navigate and simplify our lives together in this gluten-filled world. And as always, I am your host, Coral, and this is season 2, episode 20, brand new to gluten-free. So this episode, I want you to know that it's going to be just a little bit different, and I hope it feels different for you. Now, I am always authentic. Like, I'm real. What you see is what you get. But in this episode particularly, I want you to feel like I'm just sitting down right on the couch right next to you, feeling the feels with you, feeling those hard emotions, the uncertainty, the doubts, the fears, all of it. I'm just right here with you, and I am cheering you on and here to support and guide you along the way. I know it's a lot. But I want to tell you that right now is the hardest part. Starting out is like, what the heck, right? Oh, I just remember, if you see my trailer to even this podcast, and you'll just know that, like, I went into the store and I thought I had all my ducks in a row. I thought I was so well prepared. I Pinterested, hello. I downloaded an app. I got like all these things. I got like everything I needed. And I was like, okay, I'm going to use my scanner app and I'm going to scan everything. I hop in the car, go to the store, totally scared, like, okay, hopefully this is good. I was by myself. I didn't take my kids. I needed my full brain. And I get there and I pull out my app and I thought I was so fancy, right? So techie. And guess what? I didn't even have reception. I didn't have reception to scan anything. Nothing was working. And I was like, holy crap, what am I going to do now? And so I was so flustered. And so what I did, I started picking up every box and I'm like reading the ingredients and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm reading. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Like, I don't even know what to do. I seriously walked around. I was at a Target that had like a lot of grocery area. I just remember and I'm like going each aisle and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't even know what to make. I don't know what to eat. Like, what am I going to even feed my kids? And I was so distraught, and like, it puts me back in that moment where you are now. And it just makes me want to sob, of lost and confusion. I left the grocery store and I want to say it was like either 2 or 3 things in my cart, and they were like fresh produce. Cause I was like, I don't even know what packages are right. And this is like, granted, like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, almost. And so things weren't labeled as well as they are now. And I was just so like, I just went home and I was like bawling. I was bawling. I was like, what do I even do? How am I a mom? And I have, at the time I had 4 little kids, 5 and under. Like, I'm like, what am I going to feed them? I have no idea. All I know is my little Chanel isn't going to survive if she keeps eating this way. She was so sick, which is for another episode, which, you could go back and listen to those journeys later. But I am like, holy cow, what am I going to do? And I just knew then I needed to find my groove. I needed to find my gluten-free groove, and fast. I didn't have the time to like, oh yeah, I'll get it within a year. Like, I was like, shoot, I got to get this now. I've coached thousands of people that are in your same shoes. Like, fast forward these 9 years and everything that I've learned. Like, I've coached people just like you, where you are, and like all the feels, right? But I want to tell you that those thousands of people go on to live a happy and healthy gluten-free lifestyle. Now, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of mind work. Actually, you think like, oh yeah, just tell me what to eat and then I'm fine. But actually, it comes with a lot of other emotions and feelings and family members and schools and all the things, right? And so that's what I do is I like coach people. I have a whole program that helps you from like A to Z. And then I have one-on-one coaching as well to like have it more tailored and custom to what you need if you're wanting that. So if you're wanting to, I'll drop the link and all the information in the description here on this either YouTube video or podcast, however you're tuning in. But I want you to know that like I have resources for you and I can help you. I wish so bad that somebody had these tools for me. Like, oh my goodness, there isn't anything I wouldn't do to like help, because literally it's such like a lost feeling. But today I want to give you 3 actionable items that you can do today, start implementing to get you on your gluten-free path, like on that journey of success. Again, I know it's baby steps. I know because I've lived it. This isn't just me like, oh yeah. And like this is so my passion, my heart and passion, so much that like I went back to school. Like I already have my bachelor's, I already do OBGYN ultrasounds, like I'm very busy, but I'm like, I went back to school to become an integrative health practitioner so that I can learn these principles and really stand by them. I know that they're true because they worked for me, but then I'm like, okay, let me make sure that they work for others. But with that being said, I just want to give you 3 measurable things that you can implement today and this week to help you in this path and in this journey. So what I want you to do, okay. Now I know, see, remember I told you that like, it's like I'm sitting on your couch, just sitting with you. I want you to run real quick to your kitchen or wherever and get a notepad and a pen or a pencil. You might want a pencil. If you're like me, I mess up all the time. Or you can take your phone out in the notes section too, and you can just jot down some notes. But I need you, so you can pause this right now. Go get yourself a pen and a paper, okay? This is what you're doing because this is what your life is like right now, okay? And we're going to get you to the point where you can succeed. But it just, baby steps here, baby steps here. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to make a list. At first, I like at the top of it, I want you to write breakfast. And I want you to leave 3 lines. And then I want you to write lunch. And I want you to write 3 lines. And dinner, you guessed it, 3 lines. Snacks, again, 3 lines. And then also dessert, 3 lines. I want you to take a moment and maybe write down, let me not be passive here. Write down 3 breakfasts that you're used to eating, whether that's, I don't know, a bowl of honey bunches of oats, or whether that's toast and eggs, or whether that's waffles, like if you're ambitious every morning. So you're going to write 3 breakfast items. Then I want you to draw a little line after each one. And this is where the magic is going to happen for you. I want you to write down what you can substitute it with. Now, let me give you some examples. I'm not going to go through all of it with you here on this call, on this little show here, but I'm going to give you an idea. Okay. I want you to see that this is doable and it's small tweaks. Okay. You can do this. Okay. So breakfast, the first one we said was honey bunches of oats, right? Okay. So now we just need to so if you like cereal, now we need to supplement it with a cereal that's safe. Okay. So like Chex, all the different flavors of Chex, except for wheat Chex, are gluten-free. We've never had a problem. They've served us well. You can buy them and they're not really, really expensive. Now, I mean, you can go in baby steps here and you could do the Chex, or I mean, you could go back, you could be like, I want a clean eat and I'm going to go for the magic spoon, right? And spend $10 a bottle or a box. That's up to you. But gluten-free doesn't have to be super expensive. That's like the number one complaint that I get from people. It's like gluten-free is so expensive. Well, it doesn't have to be. You can choose like what you want. And of course, like you could skip cereal. You could make other things too. So, but I'm just for the sake of right here now. So instead of honey bunches of oats, you're putting Chex, and maybe you're putting like, I don't know, cinnamon Chex if your kids are used to the sugar cereals or whatever. For me, we do corn Chex because there's less sugar in it. And then we do like healthier versions too of cereals because we're a little bit more dialed in for anti-inflammatory reasons, which is like next step, right? That's like, but first master gluten-free. I have a lot of people who are new to gluten-free and they're like, Cora, I want you to coach me and help me. And I want to do the AIP with it, or the anti-inflammatory diet, or what we like to call a healthy challenge. Well, I don't like to use the word diet. It's like food challenges. Yeah, let's go. So here's the thing. So like it's like you're in survival mode right now. I know because I was there. I'm like, let me just know what's going to help us so we're not like killing our bodies. Okay. And then we can go on to healthier, like baby steps. So we have honey bunches of oats. So we went to Chex. Now, the second one I think I said was toast and eggs. Now, toast and eggs, you can actually have that as gluten-free. And your toast can be a little bit different. You probably want a new toaster. If you have celiac disease, you want to get a new toaster so the crumbs don't, like all the cross contact with that. But you can get a gluten-free toast. So right now, sometimes, like my first choice is Canyon Bakehouse all day long. I love Canyon Bakehouse. Some Canyon Bakehouse, the breads are like this big. And if you're listening on iTunes, it's like the size of the palm of your hand. It's not very big. But they do have their heritage ones, which are large, and they are so worth it. They're very good. You're not going to find a lot of holes with Canyon Bakehouse. I really love it. Some breads, you're like holy craters of it. There's like holes everywhere. But I love them. The ingredients are healthier with Canyon Bakehouse, whatever. They're the better choice. They're my favorite choice. But right now, when I go to Costco near me, they have Udis, and they have a 2-pack, and it's like $8. So that's $4 a loaf. That's like the cheapest I've ever found it. So if I can't get to the grocery store, or I'm like, I just don't have the budget this week for more expensive bread, I go to Costco and I get Udis, and we love it. We love it. And I toast it. So gluten-free bread, you kind of want to toast. So here you are. You thought you couldn't have anything, but you can actually have Chex and you can have toast and eggs. Perfect. You're set for success, right? And then the third one we said was waffles or pancakes, whatever you want to call it. Now, you can find gluten-free blends pretty easy for pancakes and for waffles. Same mix. If you don't know that, some people ask me and I'm like, bless you. Like cake and cupcakes, it's the same mix. Same thing with waffles and pancakes, same mix. If you want to make it a little bit thicker or thinner or whatever, that's up to you. But I'm just gonna I'm gonna lay it down. Like I'm gonna give you my secrets for waffles and pancakes. So honestly, I'll just Bob's Red Mill has a really good pancake mix, and you can find it at most grocery stores. And it's not $1 million. I mean, let's face it, right? We don't want to spend $10 on a package of pancake mix, and so you don't with Bob's Red Mill. So I love that one. And you know what I do? I soup it up even more. So I actually, for anything that I bake, if I'm not doing like a healthy challenge or really dialed in on my health, I'm like, we want the taste of this, right? We're not eating pancakes every day. Like we eat pancakes maybe like once a month. So yeah, I do sweeten this up. But I will put Jell-O instant pudding, like just the mix, the dry mix, and I put it in my mix or in the batter. And I'll add a little bit extra milk, depending on how much I'm making. I eyeball it. Honestly, I eyeball it. I'm usually doing a half a package of the little small instant Jell-O pudding mix, and it's vanilla. You could get more creative if you wanted to, but we just use vanilla. I love that. That is going to make them spongy and puffy and yummy. And my kids, like anyone that eats my pancakes is like, oh yeah, these taste like regular ones. I don't see a difference. So if you're feeling like yours are grainy or you're like wanting to step up your game, that's my favorite trick. Anything I bake, and I do this with muffins, cookies, cakes, everything. And I have a little cookbook, like baking with coral book, and it's called Putting Love into Baking. And maybe I'll link that in the show notes. I'll have to remember. If not, you'll go to my website, go to my shop, and then you just look baking with coral, and then Putting Love into Baking. And you'll see all my baking recipes with Jell-O instant pudding mix. Again, it's not my healthiest, but shoot, when you're just like wanting like really good, yummy things, yeah, that's what you do. Okay, so now we've broken down breakfast pretty good, right? So we've taken breakfast and we're like, okay, we got it. We got Chex, we got gluten-free toast with eggs, and we have bomb pancakes or waffles. Time. See how now you're like, oh, I know what to feed my kids. I know what I can eat now. Now I want you to take that. I won't do it on this episode unless maybe I'll do another episode of just this. But like going through breaking down lunch, breaking down dinner, breaking down snacks and dessert. I want you to do that so that you feel more comfortable. And you can Pinterest this, right? Like, so you're like, I don't know, I'm new. I don't know what to change or what. You can do this, like write down what you're used to eating and then put that into Pinterest. Put like gluten-free pasta, like gluten-free whatever recipes, right? You're going to find it. And just so you know, jovial pasta is our ultimate favorite and it tastes so good. And they actually are made in Italy. That's where like jovial started, is in Italy. So you know it's good pasta. Like it's good pasta. We love it. So anyways, all of these little things are going to help you so you're not in that scarcity mentality. We need to change those thoughts of from scarcity to abundance. Abundance in the meaning, like in meaning that you can actually eat a lot of things. There isn't too many things that you can't make gluten-free. Actually, challenge me. I think you can make anything gluten-free. And also like your why. Like you can live in abundance because your why is better. I think of my little Chanel and how positive she is. And if you've been listening to me for a while and you've gone back and listened to other episodes, she is like the ultimate example to me in my life as well, in all areas of life. But I remember when she was 3 years old, we were at the park and they were all playing, all the kids. And there was somebody with like a cupcake or something. And she like ran up to me and she's like, Mom, can I eat this? Mommy, can I eat this? And I was like, oh, actually, that has gluten in it, but I have something else in the car that you can have. And she was just like, oh, okay, thanks, Mom. And she walked away, skipping away, actually. She was like totally happy. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that could have been like a complete meltdown disaster at the park. I could have just like been like, holy cow, I got to take her home, like get her some treat or whatever. But she was so thankful that I told her so she doesn't have to go and puke. See that? Like she was grateful she wasn't puking. Was she grateful she couldn't have the cupcake? Probably not. But she was grateful that I told her she couldn't. So then she wouldn't be sick. See how like it's a switch. Instead of scarcity, it's actually abundance. And we can do that in different areas of our lives. I love that. She's such a great example. Okay, so you wrote down breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and dessert. You are going to have the opportunity now to take this and continue on. And like I said, when you get stuck, turn to Pinterest, start Googling. You can call me. I can coach you through it. Like we can start up coaching sessions. I have a gluten-free transformation program that's phenomenal that actually does this, and I help you along the way. But you're just tuning in today and get a freebie from me. Okay. So that is the first thing. Remember I told you I have 3 secrets for you. Okay. So that's the first, to do breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, dessert. Okay. So now I'm still sitting here on the couch with you. Do you feel me? Do you feel my presence? I hope so. And do you feel my passion? Like I am so passionate to help you, to jumpstart you so you don't have to go through the years that I did. Like, okay, we're in 2023 right now, almost 24. And I know these are evergreen, so you might be listening to this 5-10 years later after this, but we've come so far. And so like, you don't have to have a scarcity mentality with gluten-free eating at all. Like we live a great and healthy life. Yes, it takes willpower. Yes, it takes more thinking. Yes, especially with celiac disease, you have to be prepared and you got to do your research, but it's so doable and you can have a healthy, happy life. I think of my little Chanel, and here she has 5 autoimmune diseases, celiac disease being the most scary at this, of all, because she's very reactive to gluten. But I just think like, man, nobody even knows that she's like struggles. She goes on the soccer field and like lives her best soccer life ever. She is a beast out there, and not one person would doubt that she struggles like without any autoimmune disease, let alone 5. And so that's the point I want to make to you. You can live a happy, healthy life, whether it's for you or for your kids or whatever reason you're interested in being gluten-free or you're starting this journey. Okay, so remember that was one. Sorry, I go like squirrel moments. But this is how I would be right on your couch. That's why I'm like, please just like know that like I'm here with you in this. Okay, now here's the like golden thing. Like these are like the key secrets to success. Whether you medically need to be gluten-free or you're choosing to be, or you're choosing to live a healthier lifestyle, the second thing I want you to do today is clear out a shelf. Clear out a shelf on your pantry, clear out a shelf on in your fridge, and clear out a shelf in your freezer. Now, these are going to be your safe shelves, whether it's for you or your kids. I get it. Like not everybody in the family needs to be gluten-free or what. I want a safety zone for you or for your kids. Think about it. When you're so hungry and you're just like, I just need something. And you like end up grabbing candy bars or chips or like crap because you're so hungry. If you have a safe area, if you have a safe shelf in the pantry or in the fridge or in the freezer, it's going to allow you once again to get out of that scarcity mentality and one of like, I can do this. Maybe not abundance, but if you fill up your shelf, it'll be abundant. It'll be abundantly clear that you can eat lots of things. But just start small and start putting the safe things on those shelves. Preferably a higher shelf. The reason for that is if you put a bag of flour or your container of flour on one shelf, and then under that shelf is your gluten-free stuff, well, chances are that flour or what can drop, like, gravity, right? If you're going to have flour fall, it's going to fall down, not up. that would be quite interesting. So you want to have your gluten shelves on the higher shelves. Again, like if it's for little kids, then maybe you wouldn't. You have to, like maybe you just put like something that covers it to make sure it's all safe and all of that. And that's if you have celiac disease or a severe allergy. So you're having this safe zone. So now think about it. You get hungry and you're like, what am I going to eat? Instead of like trying to look through your whole pantry every time, like, what's the safe foods? Wait, what can I have? You're like, boom, this is where I can eat. And then slowly as you go to the store, you fill up those shelves. And if you're like me, when we first started out, I started going through my pantry. I was like, okay, what are we going to do? So I got my red tape, and anything with red on it had gluten, blah, 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 blah. And I put on one side versus the other. Actually, I have a whole YouTube, I think, on that. But, and so I separated it out. And then I wasn't willing to get rid of all my gluten stuff. Although I wanted to be a gluten-free home, like 100% gluten-free home, I was like, I can't justify throwing away all this food. So we kind of slowly transitioned. And then I quickly learned, like, me making 2 different pots of spaghetti was like my biggest nightmare ever. The reason why it was my biggest nightmare ever is because I put 2 pots of pasta on the stove and it's cooking up, and I like grab my spoon and I start stirring my gluten-free pasta, and then I stir my gluten pasta, and then I stirred my dessert, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I am stirring with the same utensil back and forth. I just contaminate, I cost contact, all of it, right? I just ruined my gluten-free pasta. So then I realized, okay, I'm just making one dinner every night, and this is what we're going to eat. And so that's where I learned that Jovial was the best. Trial and error, buying all the expensive, crappy stuff, and realizing, put my money into Jovial and we'll always be happy. Okay. So that's been my journey. And so then we slowly but surely are, a gluten-free home. And now my kids are getting older, and long story, 3 of my 4 kids can have gluten. If you've been following me for a while, you think probably it's 2, but I'll make an announcement soon that it's actually just 1. Chanel's my only one, and myself, that need to eat 100% gluten-free. So my others will have gluten if it's packaged, that we don't have to like cook and bake with. So that's kind of our story. But yeah. Okay. So first, I'm going to recap a little bit. The first thing we're going to do is make a list of 3 safe things for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and dessert. The second thing, I want you to clear off a shelf in your pantry, your fridge, and your freezer. Okay. These are your actionable items that are going to save you. And this is even applicable if you're just living like a healthier lifestyle or what. You can put like the anti-inflammatory foods on a shelf or whatever. So whatever you're trying to like eliminate or stick with, right? You can make a safe shelf so that you know that you don't get into that mentality of like, I can't eat anything. Oh, well, I'm just going to grab these cookies and I don't care if they're gluten-free or not. Like, that's the last thing that you want to do for yourself, especially for a child, because yeah, you don't want to teach your kids those kind of habits and principles at all. Okay. So the third thing that I want to talk about today is when you're just getting started is to find stores near you that have a decent amount of gluten-free foods that are labeled as such, that are easy to identify in the grocery stores. And I want to remind you that, I mean, I feel like everybody does this. And if you need to do this mentally, that's fine too. But most people that start out, me included, once I found out like where the gluten-free safe aisles are or whatever, I bought like every packaged thing that ever existed. I spent so much money and so many products weren't even worth it. Some were flat out nasty. And here we are wasting all this money. So not all gluten-free packaged foods are worth it. So I'm just telling you that. And a huge reason why you don't buy every packaged thing is you want your body to heal. And if you are eating all processed and packaged food, even though it's gluten-free, your body is still not going to respond positively. You're going to feel a whole other onset of crappy feelings. Maybe you're not puking, or maybe you're not getting the autoimmune reaction of what gluten is to your body, but you are causing more inflammation when you're eating all that packaged crap. That's just a reality. So don't go like, oh, I'm going to go, like, oh, this is gluten-free, I'm going to buy it. Oh, these crackers are gluten-free. Oh, these cookies are gluten-free. Oh, yeah, you have an abundance of what you can eat, but you're not going to feel better. So be strategic and smart. Yes, you're in survival mode, but don't go to crap because of it. Just putting that out there. Okay, so you're going to find stores near you that carry a lot of good gluten-free options. So I'm going to share with you a few of mine, and hopefully you have a store near you that like this will trigger and be like, okay, good. This store has a lot of good, safe options. Okay, the first one I want to say is Walmart. Walmart has probably the better prices of gluten-free foods, like it is as a whole. Like some stores will go on sale and you can get it. Others, like those Costco, the Udis at Costco, right? That's like, oh, that's good. That's on sale. I mean, that's their regular price, but it's at a cheaper discounted price, right? So, okay, so Walmart's, if you have like a Walmart marketplace, or you have like, there's food inside your Walmart. Actually, I haven't been to a Walmart lately that doesn't have this section, which is a huge blessing, but hopefully yours does have this as well. But they'll have a whole section of gluten-free, and it will be labeled as such, gluten-free section. It's pretty clear. And then everything in that area, always check labels, but is going to be safe. And so this is where you find like pretzels, and pretzels are better gluten-free, just FYI. They're like super crunchy, super good. Yeah. But okay, so they'll have pretzels and cookies and, like mixes and jovial pastas and char breads and Candy Bake House, and they'll have a lot. Not to say that you can't find gluten-free in other aisles, because I surely do, but they have a dedicated aisle. And so maybe as you're getting started, it's like, okay, instead of walking the whole store like I did, completely lost, you have a section like, okay, I can get sandwich bread, I can get crackers, I can get whatever I need, I can get mixes right here in this aisle. That might save you a lot of like stress. So finding a store like Walmart that has a gluten-free section is awesome. Other stores that I love shopping at is Costco. Costco has a lot of like crackers and chips, like Milton's crackers we love, Simply Mills crackers we love. We can find those at Costco. They have a really good frozen pizza that's phenomenal. My kids love it. And it's like a Supreme, but they pull stuff off that they don't like. But the flavor is great. It's cauliflower crust, and it's actually from Kirkland, and we love it. And I believe it's like 2 of them, and it's 10 or 11 bucks. And that's the cheapest you could find them, really, like for the size, for the quality, for everything. You don't realize that you're eating a cauliflower crust. It's very thin and crispy, and it's yummy. Okay, so wandering around Costco, looking at their stuff, like just have fun with this. Like you're on a scavenger hunt. You're at these stores on a scavenger hunt. The next store I want to tell you is online. Now, actually, you could do this with Walmart too. You can sorry, I'm like all over, but right. Remember, I'm sitting just right on the couch with you. So have grace with me. But So Walmart, you can actually go online and do any orders like shopping online and like order pickup or have it delivered. And you can put in like gluten-free, and they have a whole section of gluten-free that you can just see, and you can see your options there. So you can do that before just as like curiosity, or you could actually just put your orders in like that and have it delivered to your house or for Walmart pickup. Okay. So my next one is Thrive. Thrive online is amazing. Thrive Marketplace. They like cater to like more specialty foods or higher end foods, or like gluten-free, dairy-free, all of that. And they are great. And when you go, it's kind of like a Costco membership where annually, I want to say it's like $100 or $120, but then you get discounted like products, and it is very cheap. So this is where I buy all my flours and mixes in bigger bulk. My certified gluten-free oats, like all of that is through Thrive Market, and they're so fast. So I put in an order like, I don't know, on a Monday, and my orders come by Wednesday. Like it's very, very fast. And very inexpensive. And I think if you spend over, I have codes. So I'll have to put in a code for you. I actually have one for Walmart for your first order, and Thrive is a really good one. It's like, I don't know, 40% off your first order. I don't know. Okay, don't quote me on that, but I'll tag it in. But so with Thrive, then you are like, after I want to say $35 or $40, it's free shipping. So that is awesome. So not only are the products cheaper, but you're also getting free shipping, and it just comes right to your door, and you can get that stuff. Now, when you're on there, I want you to read labels. You can click on like allergen like information, and some of it is manufactured with wheat. But you'll start knowing your brands. It'll be fine. Your first couple orders, trial and error. You're gonna get it down. Don't be harsh on yourself. You're doing great. Okay. So I love Walmart. I love Costco. I love Thrive Market, but I also just love our Smiths right down the road. It's like amazing. Actually, I can find so many things there. Smiths is also known as Kroger's or Ralph's. So if you have any of those, they all carry those kinds of products. I love their products, and like I said, it's just right down the street, and I can pick up just about anything. So finding your go-to stores. And if you have an Aldi by you, hallelujah, that's one of my favorite to buy blends of flour, like your cake mixes and stuff. They're like absolutely the cheapest. I want to say they're like $1.50, $1.99 for cake mixes and stuff, which is so good. And they are delicious. They're my favorite. So when I travel down to California, because we don't have it here in Utah, when I travel down to California, because that's where I'm from, I will load up on all the mixes there. I buy them all out. So sorry for everyone else, but I am greedy the few times a year I'm over there, and I buy out. So I'm going to recap: Walmart, Costco, Thrive, Smith's, Kroger's, Ralph's, that whatever. And honestly, finding your go-tos, learning your favorite things that you're going to be eating for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and dessert, making a safe shelf in your fridge, finding those good stores that you could go to, you are setting yourself up for success, for gluten-free success. I promise you, you are going to feel so much better by doing these 3 things. And even if you've been gluten-free for a long time, like this is just good information that you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to make a safe shelf just for me. Perfect. Like you can do that. Like you can make your life a little bit easier. We all know it's tricky. We know it's tricky. So yeah. And okay, so I have my gluten-free guide that I put together with Carl Lynn from Just Ingredients years ago. And we put like good, safe choices. It was so hard to create this list because we put good, safe choices, and then she had to approve them. And she's like, Coral, I can't put my name on this if like ingredients like this are in it. And so we actually have like ones that are good, and then we have a better option that Carolyn like super vouches for. She vouches for everything on there. But yeah, and if you don't know who she is, she's incredible, and she is like very into like cutting inflammation and healing our bodies through food, which obviously is my mojo as well. So that guide is awesome. You can pick it up on my website and my shop too. I'll link that too. Like I'll try to remember to link these different things because I know it can get a little bit like, hey, where do I go? What do I do? I'll put good show notes in for you guys so you can really get clear on what you're needing. Um, and I am gluten-free printable cards that for free on my website. I have celiac disease card on my website that you can hand to teachers. I mean, I do this every year at the beginning of the year. Teacher, and I have a customizable one that you do purchase, that you can put the picture and your journey and your story and your favorite foods and treats. And so the teacher's really informed. But I have like a basic, simple, like I have celiac disease. This is what you need to know card as well that you can take to like a chef. You can take them everywhere. Your neighbors, all of the things. And so you can grab that on my website too. Again, the cards are totally free, if you get that one. And then I also I have my 12-week gluten-free transformation program that I promise you will you'll go from like being a beginner to being an advanced within those 12 weeks. Like it is life-changing for anyone that has gone through it can attest to that. And I did this to help you. You can do it on your own, and I have everything set up for you, or I could do it with you and do one-on-one coaching and really help your family out. So, and if you have a child that's going gluten-free, I super recommend you doing the one-on-one coaching, because there's so much more that goes into it with kids, and you want to make sure they have a healthy relationship with food, and I can help you with that. Cater it to that child specifically, because I know they're two kids are not the same. We all know that. If you have multiple kids, you're like, how did they come out so different? But we can tailor it to you. So eating disorders and different things are very, very real when we have fear with food. And so really taking that time and nipping it right in the butt right from the beginning. Let's just do it. So I have my program that you can do on your own, or you could do one-on-one coaching with me. But I'm wrapping up today. I'm wrapping up today. It's like I got to leave your house. I'm on your couch and I've got to go. I got to go run some errands. But I just want you to know that I'm rooting for you, that I'm so glad you're even tuning in today to listen or to watch if you're on YouTube, but that you're here showing up ready to make the changes for you and for your family. Thank you for tuning in today. I want to remind you that you're doing great wherever you are. Whatever stage you're in, you're going to get through this. This is the hardest part right here at the beginning, the grind and finding your groove, but you're going to find it. Thank you for listening. I would love it if you stopped and left a review. That would just mean the world to me on iTunes. You can leave a comment here on the YouTube channel. I'm here for you. And I hope you feel my love and sincerity for you. And I just want you to double check, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, the YouTube channel, or to this podcast so that you don't miss another episode, because I will help you. I'll help you through this process. And I just want to wish you the best gluten-free day.